Hello everybody, my name is Kim and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to import and vectorize your images or image sequences in Storyboard Pro. The first thing you'll have to do in order to successfully import and vectorize your images is change your preferences. Now on PC you can find your preferences under Edit, Preferences, and on Mac you'll find it under Storyboard Pro, Preferences. You want to find the Import Export tab, and then you want to tick this box over here that says Display Vectorize Options dialog. This will make sure that the Vectorize Image dialog box comes up when you import images. Say OK. Now I'm going to go to File, Import, and you get two options here. You get images as scenes and images as layers. If we choose images as layers, it's going to import the images as separate layers on a single panel. If we choose images as scenes, you're going to get a new scene for every image that you import. So for this example, I'm just going to go with images as scenes. Now you'll see that it asks you to choose the image files that you want to import. So I'm just going to grab a few of these and say open. And you'll see that this Vectorize Image dialog box comes up. If you scroll across, you'll be able to see your image a bit better. And then we're going to look at the import options. So the first option here is as a bitmap layer. So this is just going to import your images onto a bitmap layer in each of the scenes. Then we have color to vector layer. Again, this is just going to import all of the colors onto a vector layer in each of your scenes. This will actually create a hybrid of bitmap and vector. So in other words, it will be a vector envelope that has a bitmap image inside of it. Then we have a grayscale to vector layer. This is going to import your images as a grayscale image onto a vector layer in each of your scenes. And just like the color to vector layer import, it will create a hybrid of vector and bitmap. And then we have the black and white to vector layer, which actually removes any gray and vectorizes your image into pure white and black forms. Here we have a threshold. Now the threshold will decide which grays are going to be turned into white and which grays are going to be turned into black. And depending on how high or how low that threshold is, you'll see that there's quite a big difference. Then we have expand, which increases the line art. And we have smooth, which then smooths out your line art. We're going to go for grayscale to vector layer first. Over here you have your size options, and down here you have some options such as apply to all files. So this will apply the same options to every image that you're importing. You have a save as default option, which will save these settings up here as a default. And you'll have to not show this dialog again, which will turn off the Vectorize Image dialog box when you import images again. So you'll have to go back into your preferences and reactivate that if you decide to turn this on. So I'm just going to say apply to all files, and I'm going to say OK. Now you can see that each of these images is within its own scene and that it has been imported onto a vector layer. And as you can see, it is a vector envelope with a bitmap image on the inside. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to import one more image, and this time I'm going to choose the black and white to vector layer. So I'm going to adjust my threshold, nice and clean. And then if you want to, you can smooth it down a little bit. And here we have a black and white to vector import, and you'll be able to edit this just like any vector image that you create in Storyboard Pro. And that is how you import and vectorize images in Storyboard Pro.